Prismazoa channel. I'm Henry, and if you didn't already know, I'm a jellyfish-themed PNG tuber streaming games on YouTube, which for now is primarily Disney Dreamlight Valley. For my first two streams, I did a full valley tour, so if you're interested, please do check out the VODs from that in the live tab. I also wanted each biome to have its own dedicated video tour, and I thought, what better place to start with than the Plaza? So, here we go. Starting off on the right side through this arch of trees, we have an L-shaped bench with a popcorn stand next to it, and a fountain that I've placed fountain tiles underneath to give the water more movement. In this corner I've placed an easel right beside another bench so that villagers can sit there and get their portraits done in the park. My main reference point for the park is Stanley Park in Vancouver, which is a nostalgic place for me since I went to it a lot when I was little. Over here I have more L-shaped benches surrounding a flower bed and facing a large mossy tree. I think an essential part of any park is to have lots of places to sit and enjoy nature. Around the other side of the tree is a table and chairs with a checkerboard, which was partially inspired by the Pixar short Jerry's Game, where the old man plays chess with himself. It was the short that plays at the beginning of A Bug's Life, and I watched that movie many times as a kid, so it's stuck in my brain forever. On this side, I've gathered most of the fruit trees and bushes from the various biomes to make an orchard. Some parts are more overgrown with grass and foliage. I'm a big fan of the overgrown and cluttered look, which you will see will be a recurring theme in the rest of my valley as well. This Beauty and the Beast fountain is also one of my favorite items in the game, so I tend to use it in a lot of my builds too. I used the brick pathing to make a bunch of stepping stones that continue and wrap around the back of the orchard as well, connecting down to the peaceful meadow and also to the path leading up to the sunlit plateau. I made a rectangular seating area here with the L-shaped benches and the gooseberry bushes that looks out over the peaceful meadow. I really like how the colors of these bushes and the wooden bench go together, but these bushes don't really go well with the other fruit trees, so I separated them with the wooden trellises and the pink flowers. From here is also a really great place to watch the sunset and relax at the end of the day. I used the big topiary maze to fill up the rest of the space on this side of the plaza, and I decorated the edge of the main platform with flowers, bushes, and the Disney Parks bench and trash cans. Now moving over to the left half of the plaza, we have this little moment here, which is mostly inspired by the Studio Ghibli movie The Cat Returns, particularly the scene at the crossroads. I designed this very simple checker patterned rug with the Touch of Magic tool to look like tiles, and I added signs pointing to various other biomes to make it feel more like a crossroads. I used the tower from It's a Small World as the centerpiece because I really like the color palette and aesthetic of the outside of that ride's building. I wanted the tables and chairs to be all white, and unfortunately the only way to get an all-white chair is to use a blank Touch of Magic chair. I really hope they add some nicer patio and cafe furniture to the game eventually, maybe something similar to the Iron Garden set in Animal Crossing, but this is what we have for now. At the entrance to this little lookout point are the turning red stone statues from the last Pixar-themed Star Path. I wanted to put these in a prominent place because 1, they're beautiful, and 2, I love turning red. If Meilin Lee gets added to Dreamlight Valley as a villager, I would just die of happiness. I put this bench here way back when I first started the game, and I have kept it here ever since. I just love how the gap in the rocks lets you look out over the meadow, and it's another place that's also perfect for watching the sunset. This stone bench from Cinderella is also one of my current favorite items in the game. I think it's so pretty. I love how it sparkles. I put Eric's statue here to look like kind of a memorial statue, because it's kind of funny to think he's dead even though he's walking around. Sometimes I can still hear his voice. Or his flute, unfortunately. In between the shop and the restaurant is this mini park space, which has more of an autumnal vibe with the color palette of the clock tower and this giant red maple tree, which I think looks nice with the lanterns also. I continued the lanterns down the path here, next past Scrooge's store, to make a kind of alleyway. Chinatown in Victoria, BC also has decorations like these, and I love that place. So the lanterns are a little nod to that as well. Around the back of Scrooge's are a few more benches and the Figment topiary flower bed. Some people are saying that Figment might be part of the DLC, and I think it's definitely possible considering the ride he's from is the Journey into Imagination ride, and his song called One Little Spark, aka Spark of Imagination. Let me know if any of you have theories in the comments, because I'm very curious about what the rest of the DLC involves, and I can't wait for it to be released. Behind the restaurant, I lined the path with these beautiful cage lanterns and some flower beds. The path splits off towards the Forest of Valor on the right, and a secret path behind the restaurant on the right, which we will get to in a bit. Underneath the maple tree we have a picnic blanket and a little patch of grass, and I left a few wildflowers and added some taller grass to make it look more natural. I wish we had more picnic related items to make our own picnic setups, like cushions and a picnic basket. Moving to the front of the restaurant now, I have a seating area with two benches facing each other underneath this glass-topped gazebo. This is another one of my favorite items that I use often. I think it's really pretty, and I'm glad we're allowed to put so much stuff underneath it. I also used it over here for a covered seating area for the restaurant, and I surrounded it with hedges so that people can eat outside but still have a little bit of privacy. These chairs and tables here are for more casual cafe-style eating. I wanted to evoke the many street-side cafes in places like France and Italy. The gold is just a little bit too fancy though. Again, I wish we had some more options for cafe furniture, but I digress. I repeated the same cage lantern and flower bed design on this path as well. I liked it so much that I wanted to use it twice, I guess. Ratatouille's apartment building is here as well, and in this little corner between them, I gave him a little private garden. Ideally, it would be an herb garden since he's a chef, but instead is just a nice place to hide away and chill out. I once tried to make this a real herb garden by forcing all the oregano to spawn in a neat little patch, but unfortunately, the next day, all of the oregano was scattered all over the plaza again, so that didn't really work. The other path connects back to where we were before, and on the other side there's also a path that wraps around the back of the building too. And with that, we've completed our tour of my plaza. Thank you so much if you've gotten this far into the video. Before I go, I'm going to show you a quick look of what it looks like at night with all the lights on, as well as at sunset, which is my favorite. So if you've enjoyed the video, you already know what I'm gonna ask you to do. Frickin' smash the like button. It's one of the things that actually helps the channel get shown to more people, and if you want to see more tour videos as well as probably some speed builds in the future, equally smash the subscribe button. I go live at 2 p.m. Pacific on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I would love to see you in my next stream. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you never get stung by a jellyfish. I'm Henry, and if you didn't already know, I'm a jellyfish-themed PNG tuber. PNG tuber.